me help you with your vision, they losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard, I'm talking words you understand, I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere, you know I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing to the Lord the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all fun and games to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screaming lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the Roxamore Sports broadcast coverage. Here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Roxamore Sports broadcast coverage of today's 7-on-7, the 210 Speed for Agility here at the Woodland Hills High School, Wolverina. Right now, we got a game coming up, ladies and gentlemen. It is Claritin going against Shadyside.
And Max, last game, Shadyside Academy is wearing green. They are back in their blue and yellow scheme. Clairton, of course, in their traditional orange and black.
Yep, and at last glance, there was a tied game with Shadyside going against Franklin Regional. However, they did play a little bit extra after that. We're not exactly sure what the ins and out of that whole thing is, but they did close on a tied game, so safe to say that they did a great job. So we shall see how they play against here. Claritin in the orange, Franklin Regional in the blue and gold.
At Shadyside, Max. I know it's a little confusing
Shadyside, oh my God,
they switched they switched their jerseys back to their original color, but Shadyside is back in their original color scheme, so we are all set to go.
That they did. I said Franklin Regional. I just had it in my head. It's going with Franklin Regional. Okay, let's see. Claritin and Shadyside.
Max, to your defense, their shirts look exactly the same.
No.
And they never left the field either, so.
Yeah, Clairton is a pretty good school. We've seen what the quarterback is capable of for 4 passes just like that. 1. Oh, wow.
Hey, we talked about last game, Max. Some of these kids are so strong you can push them over with one hand. That's exactly what happened here, but not before the big gain.
Yeah, so Clairton played against Franklin Regional before, and that game ended off 32-0.
Yeah,
actually, no, I'm incorrect about that. I'm looking at the wrong schedule. So.
Yeah, Clairton traditionally one of the smallest schools in the WPIL, but one of the most successful.
Oh, almost had it. If he just could get a little bit of air in there. Nonetheless, that ball incomplete, out of bounds.
Yeah, Clairton looking to replace the production of Capone Jones as he moves on after throwing 10 touchdowns and 1,067 yards last year. Taking over the reins next season will be Michael Wright. 10 for 21 last year, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for 177 yards. And we'll see if he can get a rhythm going with some of these receivers out here today.
Yeah, just outside the end zone here. Let's see what they got. And it's in. There you have it, Claritin 6-0 so far.
Yeah, taking a 6-0 lead over the Bulldogs of Shadyside Academy. Now Clairton going to go for 1 here. And again, you have the option after a touchdown. You can go for 1 from the 5. Or if you're feeling fancy, you can go for 2 from the 10.
I mean, it makes sense. Start off safe, get that lead a little bit. And right now, they're going for that 1 point.
Sending a man in motion to break the trips. First time all day we've seen a formation like this.
And
it works.
Yeah, how about that? 7-0.
I was just thinking in my head, we've seen a lot of trips formations here today. Not a lot of variety out of there, but this time they send a man in motion, spread the field out a little bit more, and it worked as they get the extra point.
Absolutely. So there we have it. They have the lead, at least for now. Franklin going here off the offense at the 40-yard line. And, of course, as you know, the 7-on-7 games, simple rules, 20 minutes per game, 3 points for interceptions, turnovers, 2 points, touchdowns, regular 6 points.
Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 with their first possession of this game.
And again, I did say Franklin Regional goes to the offense. I meant to say Shadyside goes to the offense. See, Mike, I just have it fixed in my head. Once I see those colors, it's cemented,
Oh, it's going to get even better when Farrell takes the field. Coming up next, they are the same exact color scheme and has almost the same exact colors.
Yeah, I thought I was seeing doubles
and jerseys. And we can see the defensive back for the Bears doing push-ups as he drops that interception.
Oh, man. Well, not off to a bad start. We know what Shadyside is capable of, as they have a pretty mighty fine quarterback there that's able to send that ball far and wide with good reception on the other end. He has a team that he knows he can depend on here when it comes to such magnificent throws, except for that one that went right into the rail there. And Mike, you did mention that the field is a little bit on the short side, so it's something these athletes definitely got to watch out for. Landing headfirst into a bench can be, So.
Well, it's not that they were going to run into the bench. They were going to run into the ramp over there.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So definitely got to be careful with a field like this.
Yeah, at least whenever you have a regular season game, you'll have pads and a helmet on. So if you go flying in there head first, yeah, it's still going to hurt, but at least you have a protection. Here, you got nothing. So crisis definitely averted on that last play.
Absolutely. Still at the 40-yard line. Shadyside has yet to gain some ground here.
As they send a man in motion to the near side. They got him on the wheel route. If they can find him, they don't, but they go down to the middle of the field, have 2 men open. Overthrows the receiver, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah. Could almost taste the pork skin off that ball. He was so close to it, yet it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, they sent the running back in motion. Had him along the sideline on the wheel route. Got a little bit of separation from the defender. Not enough to let that pass in there. But he did have the receiver close in the end zone, just barely overthrew him.
Yeah. But again, I mean, the quarterback, he's familiar with his team. He knows they're capable of taking passes like that. And evidently, they feel safe with making such far deep passes as they keep doing it time and time again. Obviously, they're trying to get some ground here as the clock is running out. Ay. Just off the tips of the fingers there. And off onto the other side. That pass is incomplete.
And that switch of possession is 2 more points for the Bears. They go up 9-0 over the Shadyside Bulldogs.
Yeah. And again, that makes sense why they're trying to go for those deep passes. I mean, when you have such a limited time frame, I mean, sometimes you got to make some risky decisions. And your team, if they know the quarterback's chemistry, they're able to read them well and make it down the field in time. And, of course, as you mentioned, they do have a NFL player also as a coach. So I'm not exactly sure what he's advising them to do. But, I mean, we've seen it work before, so.
That pass is fired in there.
Absolutely. Bringing him down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Michael Wright fires that pass in there. Definitely the right decision on that call. Michael Wright, quarterback for the Bears, also last season, 15 carries for 131 yards for a nice average of 8.7. Also scored 4 touchdowns last year for the Bears.
Clarion sends it over to the 20-yard line and receive, bringing them down a whopping 20 yards.
But good enough for the Bears, first down.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're keeping it short and simple here, and it's working to the benefit. 9-0 so far. Of course, that is subject to change. We've seen what Shadyside is capable of, and we shall see. We shall see.
And you wonder if fatigue's catching up to Shadyside Academy, as this is their second game in a row. Clairton did play a game earlier, but had a long break and got a little bit of extra time to warm up. As this pass is thrown, it is a beautiful diving catch. Do they roll a touchdown? They do.
Was that a touchdown?
That was a touchdown.
Unbelievable. To me, it looked like that was a tackle, but I guess they call it a touchdown, and lo and behold, 15-0. They're going for that 2-point run here.
Now, I think they may be calling that one back.
Okay, so they're going for the back to 9 points then. I was going to say, it looked like he got tackled outside the end zone, but
I'm not sure why they called it back. May have been a procedural penalty, or someone may have gone a little too early, but they're just going to redo the down. So it's second down for the Bears. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, right in the middle, running back to the quarterback's left. Wright's looking. He has his running back. Can't complete it. Had it in his fingertips. Would have been a very nice diving catch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Would have brought him down to the 10-yard line at least. Nonetheless, they still at the 20-yard line. On the quarterback with a mighty fine arm. But yeah, again, like you said, they might be a little bit fatigued here because they did have a longer game than expected. We actually called the broadcast off early, and they were still playing. So, I mean, the game was over, but I mean, they were still doing something. I'm not sure exactly what they discussed with the coaches. I guess they arranged something. But nonetheless, they didn't really have much time to kind of take it easy and relax. Not relax, but at least, get themselves back in the zone. But nonetheless, defense is holding up quite well here for Shadyside.
Looked to be a little confusion. Thought we had 8 people on the field for Claritin, but they do only have 7, and they're looking for someone. Has a man underneath, catches it. If he can make a miss, he cannot. Falls down.
Taking it out at the 5-yard line. Not too shabby.
So that brings up 4th down for the Bears. 1 shot to get into the end zone here. But this is where playing the tag comes into effect, because you wonder if this was a regular game and you had to tackle someone, those underneath routes are deadly because you can catch it, make a couple people miss. We saw a play go down on the other side of the field as we had West Mifflin and Baldwin. A player for West Mifflin made about 4 or 5 really nice moves to avoid being tagged and went in for the touchdown.
Yeah.
So you'll have to pull off Herculean feats like that if you want to score here. Right, looks for someone, has someone in the back of the end zone. It's tipped. Incomplete. 2 points for the Bulldogs. Claritin now leaves 9-2 over the Shadyside Academy Bulldogs.
9-2, that's doable. That's doable. Claritin is giving their best shot here, and it's showing. It's showing, man. I mean, absolutely phenomenal work there by the quarterback. I mean, he made some pretty wise decisions, and the defense from Claritin, we've seen them before. They were able to get those interceptions pretty easily, but we haven't seen a whole lot of that here thus far. But, of course, that is subject to change as well. Shadyside, great on the offense when it comes to the quarterback, gaining some distance here. But, however, that is, as we've seen, a bit of a risky call, but again, they do have the benefit of an NFL coach here, so I'm not exactly sure what advice he's giving them. but clearly they are a formidable team as well.
As that pass is broken up, but a flag is on the play. It's holding. And that holding is on the Bears. So that will bring up first down once again. And they'll get to move the ball up 5 yards. And Max, we talk about NFL players. You know, there's a good one from Clairton that plays in the NFL, and Tyler Boyd, receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
Although you wonder how much longer he's going to be with the Bengals, because they can laugh about how good their team is now, but guess what? Joe Burrow's big boy contract is up soon. Jamar Chase needs a big boy contract. T. Higgins needs a big boy contract. So when you have your three biggest skill players and they're on rookie deals, you can afford to have a third receiver like Tyler Boyd as that pass falls incomplete. But pretty soon you got to wonder, hey, how are they going to pay all these people? And if you choose to keep Higgins and Chase, you might have to release Tyler Boyd, not because you want to, because you have to because of the cap restraints.
Yeah, it's a good thing that's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, really. Nonetheless, these lads have a chance to make it there themselves if they play their cards right. And, of course, with the backing of an NFL player giving you some good advice, I mean, it might just as well lead to that, or at least some exposure in terms of scholarships and other opportunities that may be ahead of. So, of course, again, it's worth mentioning. If anybody's watching on the other side, rosters next time. Please, we need some rosters that match up their names with the numbers here. Get these talented athletes the exposure they deserve. So that would be absolutely something we would love to have here on the Roxamore Sports Network.
I will say this, Max. These players know who they are, and in this age, they are real quick to post highlights to themselves, so they make sure they are noticed. So we may not be saying their names because we don't have our names in front of us, but guess what? They're going to find a way to get their names out there, and good on them.
Absolutely.
Help yourself get noticed.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the informational era. Let's see what we are.
But even, Max, going over Wednesday, going home, just checking the 210 Speed and Agility Twitter page, highlights galore. And we'll see if we have another one here.
Oh, was that an interception?
It is an interception. A beautiful pick there by the Bears to give them 12 points as they now lead over the Bulldogs 12-2 in that beautiful interception. Oh, and guess what? Clairton gets the ball right back.
Yeah. So 12-2 right now. Taken by Claritin, number 4. Well done there. And as mentioned, we've seen Claritin before. They were capable of getting those interceptions. I mean, it's second nature to these guys. Something you really got to watch out for is a quick defense. Willing to take some air, jump for that ball. They certainly are capable of doing that. Right now they have the offense putting Shadyside in a more threatened position.
Shadyside down 2 possessions no matter any way you slice it. They need to get a stop here and score a touchdown to keep this game alive. That first pass is complete. It brings up second down. Gain of about 7 there. Need to get to the 20 for the first down. Clairton definitely known for their high power offense. Known for having athletes all over the field. Man goes in motion, 2 receivers far and near side, rights back, pump fakes, looks someone's got to get rid of it soon. Can't find anyone, so he just dumps it to not take the penalty. That was the 210's website. So it's nice, though. Again, no pass rush in this. We joked earlier, if you're above 250 pounds, you're not allowed to come to this field today. So you got to have a pretend pass rush. Got to have a timer to go off in your head. And that'll be good for the season when you have people double your size running after you.
Right.
This way you won't think, okay, I got 1, 2, 3. That clock's got to go off in your head, and this is a good way to get used to that too. Wright's pass has a man caught. Not touch. He's still going.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. He got some good distance there for Claritin down to the 10-yard line. It looked like he actually went a little bit beyond the 10-yard line, so she'll see you shortly. But the game is just about over. We're approaching the end here. And coming up after that, of course, we have the one and only Farrell versus West Mifflin coming up soon. So if you're here a little bit too early, we got more action for you. And now it's Claritin going against Shadyside, and Claritin, oh my, that is a large margin there, 12-2.
And they got first and goal, 4 chances to punch this ball in. Gonna go for the fade route in the corner. Incomplete, but a flag on the play. Looked like there was interference on there. We'll see if the official says the same thing. He does, so we will redo that first down.
2 times the charm, all right.
And the ball goes down to the 1-yard line. Now this is where you could just easily pack it in and punch it in, but we saw in this field last season, even if you're on the 1-inch line, you're not guaranteed a touchdown.
Right.
In the Woodland Hills-Penn Hills game, Penn Hills had first and goal from the half-yard line, packed everybody in, stopped on first down, second down, fumble, turnover. Woodland Hills got out of the hole 3 plays later. And not scoring that touchdown really came back to bite the Indians in the butt in the end of the game as this pass is wide open for the touchdown. 6 more points for the Bears.
That was just pretty much gift wrap to them. 18-0 now. Well, 18-2. And insult to injury, I'm calling it that little 2 points that got nothing. No. Again, as you mentioned, the fatigue might be a factor here. And Shadyside's performance. Shadyside is, from what we've seen, a phenomenal team. Just a little bit rusty here in this performance. Of course, we got more action coming up in the weeks to come. Of course, we got more games tomorrow. So be sure to check us out on the Roxamore Sports Network at roxamoresports.com, as well as on Twitter. I believe they also have a schedule, if I'm not mistaken, for the 210 speed and agility, right, on the Twitter page. Don't hold me to it. Check it out yourself, though. This event is...
And Claritin going for 1 here. Send 3 receivers. They bunch out. Got another man wide open. Got to make a man miss. He does and jogs into the end zone.
Yeah,
for the extra point.
The defense is kind of shrugged on that one. They're like, all right, you can have it. 19-2 now.
Yeah, you got to make men miss here, and one of the best ways to do it is misdirection. Send a bunch of people out, so you got to follow someone. Someone's going to get lost in the shuffle. And that happened there, 19-2, 17-point lead for the Bears.
Absolutely, and the game's not over till it's over. Shadyside back on the offense here. Here to put a dent, maybe a hole. Let's see what we got.
That's why they let you go for 2 if you want to. You get a pick all of a sudden. That's 11 points right there, and you're crawling yourself back.
Oh.
Passes.
That could have been an interception, too. Also had 17, just expected it. But nonetheless, looks like they're going for a shorter pass here. So we got just a few more minutes here to go. Shadyside at the 40-yard line.
Second down for the Bulldogs. You can hear one of the coaches as that beautiful catch is made there.
Absolutely. Number 13 from Shadyside. Well done at the 35-yard line.
And you can hear the Claritin coaches yelling, wheel, 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 because the Bulldogs sent their running back on a wheel route. And a good job by the coaches to recognize that, to get their defenders on that and take away that option. Now the Bulldogs come trip to the near side. 1 receiver to the far side. Running back to the left. And there they go, out of that motion. They got some space. Tries to juke move, tries to go backwards. Not sure what you're doing there. I get you're trying to make a play.
Right. It's one of those things you expect the linebacker to just kind of like trudge through it all, but here on the 7-7, a touch is a touch. So that sends him at the 30-yard line.
And again, if this was tackle, making a move like that makes sense. But
Yeah.
in tag form, he had the edge. He could have taken it, but decided to try to
Exactly.
make a move, which again, you don't blame him for.
Right, right.
Now they come 2 receivers to the far, 2 to the near side. Running back to receivers left. Passes right through the hands.
Yeah, man, it hurts to see. I mean, that would have been a good pass, but let's see what we got here. I believe that is the end of the game.
Yep.
And
At 2 more points for the Bears. 21-2 final Claritin over Shadyside Academy.
yeah, I mean, that's quite a difference in performance. I mean, playing against Franklin Regional, they were 10-10, but you're a little bit atrophied, I guess. So, nonetheless, not all hope is lost. They got a season ahead of them, and they got some time to practice. As the great Nelson Mandela says, I never lose. I just learn a little bit every time.
So, Max, our next game coming up, we got a good one. We have the Farrell Steelers coming down from District 10 to take on the West Mifflin Titans. Don't go anywhere. We'll return shortly right here on the Roxamore Sports Network.